everyone, my name is Nina-Simone and I'm a senior Girl Scout. Today I'm going to take you through the Democracy for Seniors badge. I was super excited to earn this badge because it's one of the new badges for the Girl Scouts of the USA. When we've earned this badge, we will have expanded our knowledge of how local, state, and national government works. There are 5 steps to this badge. Step 1 is find out about local government. Step 2 is find out about state government. Step 3 is find out about federal legislative branch. Step 4 is find out about federal executive branch. And step 5 is find out about federal judicial branch. Let's get into step 1. Step 1 is find out about local government. To complete this step, I watched the December 3rd emergency meeting for the Appoquinimink School Board. The meeting opened up with the Pledge of Allegiance and then the agenda was presented. There were a couple of items on the agenda, and one of the main topics was all Apple schools returning to virtual learning. The school board voted 3-2 in favor of all schools returning to virtual learning with the rise of COVID cases statewide. If I were a parent and a school board member, I would have also voted in favor of this to ensure the safety of all students. Now we completed step 1. On to step 2. Step 2 was to find out about state government. Our state government looks a lot like the United States government. The United States government is made up of 3 parts or branches. The first branch is the legislative, and it makes the laws. It's made up of Congress, which is made up of the Senate and the House of Representatives. The second branch is the executive, and it enforces the laws. It's made up of the president, vice president, and cabinet. Now this cabinet is not like a kitchen cabinet. It's made up of the vice president and the 15 heads of the federal executive department. The third branch is a judicial, and it evaluates the laws. It's made up of the Supreme Court and other federal courts. One of the choices in this step was to explore an election. To find out everything I could about the most recent election in Delaware, I went to elections.delaware.gov and pulled up the 2020 official primary election. There were so many close outcomes, and voter turnout was 32.26%, which was really low. So I thought, one way to increase voter turnout is give voters free candy, like Hershey Kisses or mints. Now we completed step 2. Let's get into step 3. Step 3 is find out about the federal legislative branch. This is the branch that creates the laws. The legislative branch consists of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and together they form the U.S. Congress. The House of Representatives is made up of 435 members. Since this is the branch that makes the laws, does anyone know what a bill is? Or how a bill becomes a law? Let's take a look. To further help us understand how a bill becomes a law, I made a board game to help us. To play, you roll your die and move the spots it says. For example, I rolled a 1, so I'll move mine 1 space. You keep going until you reach the star spot, which is the president spot. Then you roll the die again to see what he decides. 2 and 4 means the president will veto your bill, and 1 and 3 means your bill will become a law. Which one will your bill become? Now on to step 4. Step 4 is find out about the executive branch. The executive branch enforces the laws and is made up of the president, vice president, and cabinet. Now remember, this cabinet is not like a kitchen cabinet. It's made up of the president and the 14 different heads of the federal executive department. The president chooses members of the cabinet, and the members are approved by the Senate. An option for this step is to compare governments. So let's look at and compare 4 different governments: democracy, monarchy, oligarchy, and dictatorship. In a democracy, people elect representatives to run the government on a daily basis. In a monarchy, all power is given to the ruler by birthright, and citizens must obey the ruler. In an oligarchy, power rests with a small number of people, normally royal and wealthy people. In a dictatorship, a leader rules by force or by threat. Which do you think is the best one? I think democracy is the best because all power is given to the people. We don't have to fear being ruled by force, threats, or violence because in a democracy, our voice and our votes matter. That completes step 4. On to step 5. Step 5 is find out about the federal judicial branch, which includes the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the highest court and is made up of 9 people called justices. An option for step 5 was judge a justice, so I chose Ruth Bader Ginsburg. One of the really important cases she decided on was Ledbetter versus Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company in 2007. In this case, a woman named Lily Ledbetter sued Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, her employer of 19 years, for gender discrimination after she discovered the company had been paying her male coworkers more. Ledbetter argued that the pay disparity was due to her gender and a violation of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Goodyear countered that with the same clause required discrimination complaints to be filed within 180 days of the violation. So Ledbetter could only legally call into question the 180 days of unequal pay leading up to her official complaint, rather than the entirety of her nearly 2-decade tenure with the company. Ruth Bader Ginsburg pressed Congress to amend the clause, saying, "Pay disparities often occur, as they did in Ledbetter's case, in small increments. Cost is suspect that discrimination is at work develops over time. Comparative pay information, moreover, is often hidden from the employee's view." Congress eventually amended the clause. I agree with Ruth Bader Ginsburg's vote because women who have the same experience as their male coworkers should be paid the same for doing the same job. Let's recap the Democracy for Seniors badge. In step 1, we found out about local government. In step 2, we found out about state government. In step 3, we found out about federal legislative branch. In step 4, we found out about the federal executive branch. And in step 5, we found out about the federal judicial branch. I hope you enjoyed completing this badge with me. Bye for now.